Okay, maybe I can start from the beginning of the process so that you remember everything. Just in short, you need to first install Java environment as we talked before. So for that you will need JDK and GRE. They come combined in the same software, same exe file or same .msi file. They come together. If you install both JDK and GRE, will get installed. And GRE is the Java runtime environment that makes your computer capable to run Java applications, where JDK helps you in the development. Okay, the compilation programming, in those aspects JDK helps. And another aspect is you need to use some IDE, integrated development environment, where you can write your program and compile it, run it and see the output. You can use some text editors like TextPad, Notepad or Eclipse, and there is another NetBeans IDE. It is provided by Sun, NetBeans IDE.
And newer, older?
It's also a good one. It's also new. And what else people use? NetBeans IDE.
NetBeans IDE?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also there is JBuilder. That's another IDE. And Eclipse is one that you can install. You can download it from here and you just need to unzip it and then it will work. And in terms of syllabus, okay, one thing is still this is a 10-hour course, but I will take little more, okay, because based on the stops I don't mind to spend a little more time. Okay, so you have to check SCJP section here, some certified Java programmer section. Basically these are the main concepts that are examined in that exam, certification exam. Also these are the main concepts that you need to know before serious programming or serious application development. Okay, after you master these concepts, then you can go to different directions. And also first if you read these things, then you can read these stuffs.
So you read this first?
Yeah, this lesson 1 to 7 first.
Okay.
Then you can read this. And actually these other stuffs, they are also explaining these concepts. It's not they are different concepts. Those are also these concepts, but explained in a different way. And here we have mostly provided the resources. We did not discuss it. We pointed to the different internet resources. Here we have discussed it. So you can read these things. And also this will also help. This is some certified Java associate. These are some different Java concept. What Java is.
Additional concepts?
Different concepts in Java. It's not programming, different programming concepts, not that. I think SCJP is different programming concepts and how to implement those things. But SCJA, Java Associate, it's for, I think, Java concepts. I think it's for other people, those who will work with Java, but they will not write code. Like project manager, business analyst, project coordinator, when they will interact with Java programmers, they need to understand different terminologies in Java. So it's for them. Like for example, Java Mail API, what does it mean? They need to know that it's for mailing applications in Java. Or J2ME, Java 2 Micro Edition, it's for mobile application development. They need to know this. Okay, and how those things work. Just a overall concept in Java. Or Java messaging service, what does it mean? It is just different application. They are transferring messages from one to another. So those kind of concepts. And this is for enterprise architect. It's mostly Java-based application design, large application design. It will come later. And EJB, it's also for enterprise application and also for web application, you can think. And Hibernate, it is also for web application. You can use it in the web application. And Java 2 Enterprise Edition, it's also for web application and enterprise application. It's for mobile application. This is some combined stuffs, but some stuffs like file operation, this is also part of the beginning programming or some certified Java programmer. All the syllabuses will be here. You can also read these things as part of this course. I think this set tree set iterator is also be tasked in this course. Linked list will be tasked here, and file, that will also be tasked here. This Java Bean, EJB, those are enterprise applications and web applications. JSF is also mostly for enterprise and web application. It's just Java user interface technology. Okay. JSP is also for web application. Okay, our focus will be this, and this.
Okay. This.
This is web application. It starts web application. Spring is also web application, enterprise application. Service-oriented architecture. This one and web services are the same thing. The concept is known as web services. The architecture is called service-oriented architecture. And Servlet, it's also web application, server-side application.
Okay.
Security, just application security or web application security. And web component developer, it is another certification exam. It's mostly for web development. I told the JSP and the Servlet, those things belong to here. And there is one another certification, some certified business component, that is EJB. Those things are under that, but we can know them later. And another thing, if you want to get an overall idea of what Java is, codeservlets.com. Just overview. Okay. That focused on certification exam. Yeah. And I think the immediate course can look similar to this. Proceed. Learn on it. Take. I think the course may look like this. You can learn by yourself. When you know the basic stuffs, then you can learn these concepts by studying books or searching websites for the corresponding topics and materials, and then you can learn by yourself. I think I'm just telling that this will be the next step. After this course, this will be the next step. Though many things will be covered, like you will get some ideas on these, some basic syntax that will also cover here, and object-oriented programming that will also cover in this course.
That's not on the certification exam?
Yeah, these are also on the certification.
Okay.
These are also on the certification, and we also discuss in this course.
But usually how long do people, when they first start on Java, take the certification exam?
I think after 6 months.
6 months?
6 months is a reasonable time. Okay. you will know the topics. I think within 1 month you can learn the topics.
Okay.
But to master at it, you will need to take many different exams, just practice exams, and also you have to write down different codes to understand the topic, and you need to thorough understanding. Okay, and you need to memorize everything. Okay. When you write the programming language, you don't need to memorize everything. You can check the reference and you can write.
Yeah.
But for the certification exam,
You have to
yeah,
do it from
everything have to be in your memory. All the functions names and their parameters, everything has to be on your memory. That's why it takes some time. I think practically I'm just telling 6 months for the average person. Okay, but if you're good at it, maybe 1-2 months, maximum 3 months should be good enough. Okay, but for me, at my stage, if I take 5 days study, if I go for the exam, I'm confident that I will pass. Okay, I think I'm working, I know everything, but I just need to customize all of the information, just take different exams and memorize a bit more, so it depends. Okay. But I think 2 to 3 months it will require to learn and practice and take practice exams and go for the exam. And I think after these things, this will not be covered in this course, but this can be the next step of learning. Okay. I think some stuffs are based on graphics. These are graphics and a little bit of web application. And I think we also covered these things in this tutorial a little bit. And event handling, I think from Visual Basic you may be familiar with event handling. When you click a button, what it will do. Yeah, just click event, mouse click event. Yeah, how
events,
to. Yeah. Those things are here, event handling. And AWT controls. I think in Visual Basic you are familiar with the different controls.
Yeah.
I think those controls, these are in Java. But in Java is 2 different types of control. One is called Active Windowing Toolkit. This is AWT, and this is the swing. Okay, these are newer than this. Swing is newer than AWT, and these are better actually. I think they have added more capabilities into AWT, and they have created the swing. But in some cases, you may still need to use some of the components from AWT. And this is the layout manager. It is about organizing different controls in the user interface in the Java style. In Visual Basic, what you can do, you can just drop and down, and you can move on your own. It is drawing functions. Some network programming stuffs. Network programming, and in the network programming, you know, there are 2 stuff, server and the client. Okay. So if you write the server program, it has to be written in one way. If you want to write the client program, it has to be written in different way.
Related.
Yeah. For the messaging you use, the Yahoo Messenger or Hotmail Messenger, whatever you say, they have a server. And this is the client part. When you are typing something through the server, it is going to the another part. So what server is doing? Server is collecting your data and redirecting it to the another user. And server is keeping track of the users. Who are the users? Are they logged on or not? So server has different capabilities. And from the client, they just need to connect to the server and send the message to the server. Okay, so the programming style is a bit different, so it will be covered here. And XML parsing, XML, it is just keeping the data. Okay, if two different applications wants to transfer data among them, then you can use XML. XML is just, are you familiar with HTML?
Yeah.
Okay, it is similar to HTML, but it is mostly used for communicating data between different applications, and they actually, in this area, they actually define different classes and how to communicate, those kind of functions and classes, those things. I think at this moment you can just know what is what, but you don't need to worry much on that. And after that, I think comes different concepts like Tomcat. It's just for the web application site. It is the Tomcat, and you will see Servlet and JSP, these two, and Apache Tomcat, some certified web component developer. Okay, this comes next. Okay, I'm just doing first our course, then this course, this crash course, and after that you can go to Tomcat, and then the JSP and Servlet, JSP Servlet, and some certified web component developer. Okay, and after that another step will be struts and Spring. Struts and Spring is showed on my website. When I think here you will see some Spring. Or if you go to training videos section, I think Spring, JSF, Hibernate, Struts. These are, you can learn them at the same time. I think they are related concepts, and they are only useful for enterprise application and web application. If you want to focus on that, then you need to learn this. But if you want to learn, say, games programming, then you don't need to learn these things.
Struts?
Yeah, if you want to learn games programming, then you don't need to learn struts or JSP or Servlet or Hibernate. You don't need to learn these things. But if you want to learn enterprise application, then you will need to learn these things. Okay. If you want to learn game programming, I think I did not search for game programming topics. Anyway, maybe we can come to our stuffs. And I think, okay, just we can create different stuffs here.
Okay.
This is the first one. What happens when I record and double click does not work? So what I have to do, okay, now it's being opening. So this is the basic structure that you must have to follow. So if you want to create, or what you can do, yeah, new file, it's required we keep the Java extension, and in Java everything has to be in a class. There is nothing outside class, but in C or C++, classes, but outside classes there will be many other stuffs, but in Java it has to be a class. And
public class means it's accessible to all. Public class means accessible to all.
yeah, this public means accessible to all. And this is also, I think, for Java applications there has to be a starting point of the program. Okay, so main method is the starting point. From here the program will start running, and in the beginning you can just pretty much memorize it. The syntax is like this. Okay, later you will understand what this static mean, or do you already know?
Static, it's only accessible to this type of class. Not out.
That's private.
Private.
Yeah. Public is accessible to all. Private is accessible
Static.
only to this class. Okay. Static, I think it's associated with the class. It's not associated with an object. You know the difference between class and object. Okay. Then maybe we can talk about that later. Okay. At this moment, just keep this structure like this. You don't need to learn details about it. We will come to this later. Okay. So the first method, it has to be main, and you have to put like this, and it must have to be static. Okay. So if you want to save it, so it will just print this hello world in the screen. So I need to compile it. What happens with Eclipse environment in the project build automatically. So
That does.
yeah, when you type, automatically it compiles and it creates the class files. Okay, so it automatically gets compiled, and if there is any error, you will see some symbol that it's an error. You see the cross, so system cannot be resolved. It's not familiar with this. Also you will see a cross here, so it does mean that something is wrong. Okay. So from here you know what is the wrong, and you can fix it. So to run, you have to run as Java application. So the output is coming here. Okay. So another thing, if you develop different kind of software, if you want to run them, still they will come here. Okay, it is Java application, then it become Java applet, but there will be coming different options here to run them. And open a run dialog box. You can define the parameters or the how it will be running. Some steps you can mention it here, but if you want just the default behavior, then you can just run it from here.
Sure, there's a button you can set going to the file. An automatic run somewhere.
You can click these things.
Okay, there you go.
And you see they're coming one after another, and there is a different function, print line. Yeah, what it will print this. After that it will print a line.
Right up under each other.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want a space.
I think you can just put it like this. But at this moment you can't see because print line is here. this is commenting.
Yeah.
So this is the commenting.
So suppose that the star symbol.
Yeah, star symbol.
In Visual Basic, it's the single asterisk.
Yeah, just here. You can use this. You can use this.
Okay.
I think this is for block. And this is for single line commenting. And there is another concept that is called Java doc. Okay, this is a special type of commenting. You can do your own commenting style. You can keep commenting as you like. You don't need to follow any standard. I think usually what happened, we did it like this. Okay. You can keep the block here, and you could keep the one line commenting under this. If you write here, it will be block comment. Sorry, not here. But another concept is the Java doc concept. Actually, they actually tell you specifically how to comment. Okay. The advantage of it, when you use the Java document style commenting, then you can create a manual based on your software. There will be tools. They can go through your code and it can generate the documentation for your software. So that's why Java documentation is important. Okay, so it's better if you, when you comment, use the Java documentation style commenting.
Okay.
Maybe you can search.
You just type that in to initiate it, and then
Tell me again.
to initiate the Java doc.
Yeah, there is nothing you need to initiate.
Okay.
You just need to follow the style. Okay.
Okay.
Let in Java doc, this is considered as a Java doc style. If you write something, it will go to the main one. Okay. If you create any documentation based on this software, or based on the code, these things will go there. And this let author, it is also a special tag defined in Java doc. You could write like this, author size of it, but in that case this information will not be treated as a author of this code in Java doc. But if you put it like this, then Java doc will identify that this is author, this is the name of the author. So these are some special meanings to Java doc. I think there will be many other stuffs like parameter. So it will know that what I am writing here, it's the nature of the return, or what I will keeping here. I am mentioning what are the parameters, or this is the parameter. So Java doc has any special meaning on this, and if we follow this, based on this, we will be creating the document. Okay, but if we don't follow this style, then Java may just ignore them. In that case, the documentation will not be complete. Okay. So this is commenting. I think it's a good thing from the beginning. If you document your code, okay. If you document your code, it's a great thing. I think when you will go for a job, many times companies may want you to show your code to them. In that case, it's better your code is documented. Otherwise, they will think that you are not a good programmer, or you don't document code, comment your code. Okay. So it's better for each of the classes you write some information what the code is, what the code is about, and for each of the functions you also write what the function is doing, and for each of the code block, if you see that next 10 lines will be doing some work, you can just that next 10 blocks will be calculating the value of pi. Okay, just commenting. And when you comment, you need to comment on what the code does, not how it does. What I'm just telling, you need to say that this code does this thing, but you don't need to explain your code. Okay, how it is working, you don't need to tell that, you just need to focus on what it is doing. I think that's the main thing of the commenting. And maybe we can find one information here. Sorry, this is the video tutorial. It should be in the short notes section. You can check this article, how to comment or how to just enter Java doc styles and some information on that, and then also a link to here, just the detailed discussions, how to make the code look clean or the coding style. You can check it there. Okay. So I think in this example we just mainly try to show the basic syntax and just writing the hello world stuffs. So it is telling one error. Okay. I think this is the error.
Is the /2/2?
Okay, it says the commenting. I'm just commenting this code, so it will not get executed. This stuff will get executed. Oh, sorry. It was here. It was like this. So this was blocked. So only one line was executing. Okay, just the one line, but these are not working because this is also comment, this is also comment. So if you uncomment, just do this. Okay, so hello world, hello world. After this hello world, there will be a line. It is going there. And what is these things? Argument in 0. It is passing. I think when you run Java application, you can pass information outside.
Outside?
Yeah, that will come as a parameter to main, because main is the starting point. When you run the application, if you want to pass something outside from this program, that will come through this main. Okay. So I think if you run it from this environment, you have to do it from here. If you see arguments, so I'm passing argument. So this argument is here. Okay. It is just a series of different stuffs. If we give arguments 100, 600, 700, get printed.
What?
This is the first argument, this is the second argument, this is the third argument.
But you only coded for the first argument?
You can print any of them, but I think I can show you. See, this is the, okay, I'm just in first argument, second argument, third argument, but the indexing starts with 0, 0, 1, 2. So I have given here 0, so the first one will come. Okay, but if you put it 1, then the second argument will 600. If you put it 2, okay, so indexing is starting with 0. Okay, 0 means first.
0, 1, then 1.
Yeah, 0, 1, 2. Yeah. And this plus sign, this is some concatenating two stops. If you use plus, and if one part of them is the string or text, it will just concatenate them into one. Come here. So you have two string 1, 2, and this will just add them together. Run them here. So it is telling there is some error on Java 9. Okay, just put them together, but now it will be.
Integer?
Yeah, in this lesson actually we'll introduce the concept of variable. I think in Visual Basic you are also familiar with variable.
Yeah.
Just some data storage where you can store values or something like that. Okay, I think I can take your pen and paper. You can give me. What I can say when I say integer number 1, what it does, if it's the memory, it allocates a space and we call it number 1. Okay, yeah, and when I am, this is the assignment operator, so I'm assigning 100, so it is going here 100. Okay.
They're constant or constant?
Yeah. So this is another integer number. We're just summing them up and we're just printing it. So the result is 300. There is nothing fancy here. I think I have already covered this. I wanted to show the commenting or Java document. What is comment? We already have discussed those things. And okay, I think there are some. I think different types of variables. we are telling what are the different types of variable can be. It is a function, and these are the local variables. And when these variables are under this class, we are telling them class variable. When you mention the static, it means static variable. And at this moment, the nature of static variable, you don't need to understand. Later we will show you. You can also access them from here. Class variable, you can access it from here. So you see that the class variable is this one. We are trying to print it here. And the static variable is here. We are just printing the static variable. We are trying to print the class variable, but it is commented. What you see, there is a cross, there is an error. So the note is here. If you just see, when a method is static, you can only call static methods or static members. You cannot refer to class variables. That this is the class variable, and this is the static method. So we really cannot access it, but this is static, so we can and this works. There is no class here. Put it here. Yeah. If you run it, it runs now. So just a little bit information here. Okay, here we just introduce the concept of function. I think we may be already familiar in Visual Basic, so there is nothing to more. But one thing we have noticed in Visual Basic, we used begin and end, start and ending of a function. But in Java, you are using brackets like this, second bracket. Okay, I think this is the starting of a function and ending of a function. We are not using begin or end. We are using brackets. Also in C or C++, it's the same style. Okay. And in the declaration, I think you can mention static. Okay, let. You don't need to mention them as static always. But the problem is, from the main we are using add or subtract. Main is static, so it cannot access anything other than static.
Okay.
That's why in this example we have put them as static. But in real life, when you write real code, then you don't have to. What will happen, as this is the only class, you are writing all the functions and methods here. But practically, in the class where is the main method, you will not write many functions. There will be many other classes. So in that case, you don't need to write static functions much unless you need static nature. Okay, for the function declaration, first comes the static, private, public, protected, this kind of stuffs. Then the return type. You understand the return type?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Result.
Yeah.
It's displayed.
Okay. Then who will be calling this function? Some data will return back to the calling function. From here, add, we're calling add. So from this add function will return some data here. That will get assigned to.
100, 200. And
yeah, these are the parameters. They are the function parameters. Okay. So these two parameters parameters will get passed here. This 100 will be the number 1. This 200 will be the number 2. So we are adding them. Yeah. And we are returning the sum. I think a better approach can be, you can put space in the operators. I think that looks better. Okay, so this is one function, this is another function. Here we have provided return type to be void. That, yeah, it's a Java related word. Java and C, C++, everything uses void. It just tells that it returns nothing. Okay, it returns nothing. That's why there is no return statement here. But we have a return here to return it. If we don't put return here, you see there is an error. Okay, so it is telling that method must return a type int. So you have to return something here. So we are returning the sum. And okay, what we are doing here is we are just the program will start here, and it will call this function add. It will come here. It will get the sum, and it will print it here, and then it will call the subtract. Subtract is not returning anything. It is also subtract is printing from here. But in practical life, it's better that you don't print stubs in the methods. If you maybe after the code, it's better that if it returns something and you grab that value and then you print. Maybe just you can make the controller in one place and the functionalities in another place. You can do it like this. You are controlling the operation from here. After controlling, you are printing it here. That may be the better way. Okay, another thing, I can also introduce you to the debugging concept. Yeah, I think did you use some debug in Visual Basic?
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you use there? F7, F8, those kind of stuffs. F10, F11. Okay. So you see debug as to the debug. For debugging you have to go from here. Okay. Debug is Java application. Okay, what it is telling. Go to debug mode. perspectives. One concept is perspective. Okay, perspective, it means that the arrangement of the windows for a specific purpose. Okay, then Eclipse actually supports different languages, like you can develop PHP application here, C application here, C++ application here. So I think based on the language or based on the requirement, it rearranges the windows. Okay, so each of them are called different perspectives. For Java, you say it is the development perspective. Okay, this arrangement is the development perspective. If you go to debug, it's the debugging perspective. Okay, you can see the variables, breakpoints, variables and corresponding values. For debugging, it's important. Okay, so let's start with here. Just asking if you want to change the perspective to debug mode or not. Okay. So it is starting here, and maybe are you familiar with this step into, step over, step return? Are you feeling sleepy? Do you feel sleepy?
Yeah.
So you want to continue or you want to stop?
No, I can follow.
Okay, that's fine. So I think it's the same concept, but you need to know still, because if you don't know how to debug, maybe if you get any problem,
If there's a lot of code, then
yeah, you need to
a lot
debug.
of little mistakes.
Yeah, so you just need to
Same
get,
thing as Visual Basic.
yeah, you just need to know the concept. That's it. There is not much. And for step into, you see F5, step over, F6. The keyboard is better maybe.
Yeah.
F5. So step into, it means it will go inside the function. And if you, at this point, if you call a function,
Step into the function.
yeah,
Or step out.
step over is, it will not go into the function. Okay, we can start again. Step into, it means it will debug the function also. So if I, from here, if I click F5, it will come to this function because we are calling this function. Okay, that's what I step into. But if I press F6, if you see, step over, then it will directly come here. It will not
Bypass the function.
Yeah, bypass the function. So let's try it. Okay, so it didn't go there. Okay, this is the, here we can step into, then it will go to the subtract. So it came here. I think you can also be familiar with these breakpoints and run to line. I think what you can, we can point to a current line, and if you press the run to line, so it will execute everything in between and start debugging from that line. Okay.
What's the step filter? Step filters. Shift F5. What does that do?
Use step filters. I did not use it much. I'm not exactly familiar. And breakpoints, you understand? Okay. And this thing is let there are 10 lines.
Yeah.
1, 2, 10. You can put a breakpoint here.
Okay.
Yeah. But can press Ctrl plus R. Maybe your cursor is here. Okay. Not cursor, I think. At this moment your debug point is here. Okay, so you are debugging this line. So you came here and you are putting Ctrl R. So you want the control to come here directly. Okay, but if there is a breakpoint, the flow will stop here, it will stop there. Though you are telling to come here, it will not come. If there is any breakpoint, it will go there.
The breakpoint?
Yeah. Yeah. I think in programming it can help. Maybe what you want, maybe that in Visual Basic, what you want, there are many codes. Okay, so you want to test exactly one line. Exactly one line of code you want to test, but you are not sure that when the control will come. Okay, or maybe if you want to create F5, F6 step by step into, it may take a long time to come to that line. So what you can do, you can put a breakpoint there and run the application. Okay, so when you will be running the application, at that moment the program will be trying to execute that line, then the debug point will come here and you will be able to debug it from there. Just debug point is the program will run as usual, but if it comes to that breakpoint, it will start debugging from that. So maybe we can show.
Those are more for complicated long codes?
Yeah. And you are not certain that when the control will come here, or maybe if you want to, there are 1000 lines before it, you don't want to press step into or step over, you don't want that, you just want to directly go to that line. Okay. You could use Ctrl R, but if you use Ctrl R, what the point will be, I think, are you familiar with the Ctrl R? I'm telling, run to the cursor.
Okay.
Run to the cursor, wherever your cursor is. If you put Ctrl R, the debugging will start from there. You could use Ctrl R, but the problem with Ctrl R is that you have to go to the line each time you want, and you have to put Ctrl R, then the control will come here. Okay. But if you use breakpoint, it doesn't matter. If you put the breakpoint, it will be always there. Okay, put a breakpoint. I think still it's in there. I think this is the breakpoint symbol. Okay. The program terminated about debugging it, but the breakpoint is here. Okay, but if I want here. If I used Ctrl R, then what happened? After the program ended, I have to go to that point and again I have to press Ctrl R. I can put breakpoint here. Toggle breakpoint. Toggle means just opposite. If you go here,
you want to toggle it?
here it's gone. It's gone. And I think there is one option for we can put the stuff here. place another breakpoint here. Right. So you want to try yourself, or
That's okay. Go ahead.
sometimes it's not working. What is the problem?
Yes.
Yeah, it's working now, but sometimes I press debug, but it does not work. Okay, anyway. Okay, our control is here.
Yeah.
And there is one more breakpoint here. And I want it to come here. Okay. So from run to line, but it stops here. But if the breakpoint were not here, it would be going there. Okay. Another thing you see, it is showing all the variables and the corresponding values here.
This is what kind of perspective?
Debug debug.
Debug.
Yeah. The debug perspective is highlighted. You can see that tooltip.
Yeah.
Okay, I can remove this stuff from here. Okay, first I can terminate. Okay, now we will try again. Oh, sorry. Come here and run to line. I think at this moment it will directly go there because there is no breakpoint. I think I can point it here. So it did not stop here. So you just have to use these things, just whatever you need, the way you need. Okay, I think lesson 4 we just covered the method declaration and parameters, those kind of stuffs. Another thing, scope of local variable. Are you familiar with the scope?
Yeah.
Variable scope?
Yeah.
Okay.
Accessibility. Local scope.
Yeah. I think for the local variable, these are not really exactly local, but their behavior is kind of local. Okay, because they are local to this function. And sum, this is a local variable, and these are parameter variables. Okay. And I think sum, it come into existence at this point, and it gets destroyed at this point. Sum is not known here, or sum is not known here, and this is known only within this function, this sum numbers.
In order to make it accessible to all functions, what you do?
In that case, you have to do the class variable. If you declare a variable here, okay, this is the class variable. It will be accessible to all functions, but it does not have anything like a variable that is global to all classes. It doesn't have anything like that, but this is a class variable and it is accessible to all of the methods of this class. Okay, so XYZ, you can access it from here, from here, anything will work. And are you familiar with the pass by value, pass by reference?
Yeah, can you go over that briefly?
Okay. Yeah.
By reference.
Actually,
by reference, the variables can change within the functions.
yeah,
Something.
yeah, kind of like this. I think in Java, it mostly by value. Okay. It's Java. It's mostly by value. And there is actually I can say there is nothing like reference. Okay. But in some cases, still it's passed by value, but it will work as a reference. The behavior will be reference, but practically it sends by value. Okay. I think in this case, I think they are passing as a value, and you know that when we pass by value, the original variable, it does not get changed.
Yeah.
Okay. If you declare like this, integer number 1 equals to 200, and you are passing number 1 there, and you are changing number 1, then you are returning number 1. So here we are changing number 1, but this number 1 will not get changed because we are passing by value. We are just printing this number 1 here. That makes sense, because this number 1, I can say it num1. I think we have declared multiple times.
Yeah.
Number 1, number 1. So we write here. So number 1, subtract result sum 200. Is 200. It is coming here. It is not get changed. But if we try to print it here, inside the function. So I think at this point it will be 400. 200 plus 200, 400. So inside it's 400, but here it's 200. So it did not get changed. I think in Java you can always think that they always pass by value. Okay, but objects you can think that it is passed by reference. Okay.
String variables.
It's also value. All the time it will be just passed by value. It is actually also the same for objects. It also passes by values, but the thing is, in the case of objects, I think it passes the address of the variable. Okay. What happens if this is the object? It passes the value of the address of this variable. So inside the function, when it is changing, it is working with the same address. That's why it seems that the value gets changed. But practically, when it is passing the value, I think the reference address, it does not get changed. Okay. For pass by value, what happens? The value get passed. Okay. But for object, this case, in number 1, the value 200 is going there. Okay. And this number 1, that's a different address. Inside here, that it is main number 1, in the memory, the address is 10. In add, you can see it will be allocated. Number 1, the address can be 20 or something. But for objects, we do not pass the value inside the object. That here what we pass 200, we pass the value 200 to the function. But in object what we pass the 10, the address. Okay, so when we will be working in the function, it will work in the same address. Okay, so when the same address we work, so whatever we do the change, still return back
The same address.
Yeah, it is the same address.
Okay.
And the contents already get changed. So it seems that it gets changed, or it seems that we have passed the stuff by reference. Okay, but really passed by value.
So that Java uses more by value?
Yeah, it's always value. But for objects, it's also value, but it passes the address, not the value. And the function works with the address, so it seems that it is being passed by reference. Okay. I think it's a bit cold here or not?
Yeah, so colder.
I think people are opening some.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Okay, I think array is a very important concept. You have to use a lot of array. I think there are similar concepts like array list, vector, list, map, table, set. These are, I think, in some way they are similar to array. Okay, but they are not exactly array. And you know what array is?
Array?
Yeah. I think for variable x, y, z, they are just independent, just one object or one area in the memory. But if you say array, they are just collection of spaces or collection of addresses, and you can keep multiple value of similar type. Okay, so I think what you can select integer. You want to keep 10 integer, 10 people's numbers or grades. So you need storage. You could define 10 different variables. That if you have 10 students in a class, you want to keep all of the students grades or percentage. So you can declare integer student 1, student 2, student 3. So there will be 10 different places. You can keep each of them there, but it's not convenient. What you can say, you can create a space with 10 address or 10 space, and you can assign the percentage here 30, 40, 80, 90 or 70, whatever. So you know this is for the student ID 1, this is for student ID 2. So it will be this one variable, but multiple space, and they have to have the same type. Okay, they have to be either string, either integer, or either character, whatever you say. Okay. So
And then you name the group,
yeah,
and you name by passing it the reference, the address. So the collection of the grades, you name it by the address.
yeah.
Okay.
I think
And you can pass a reference with that.
it works as a reference. it is being passed as a address, so it works like as passed by reference. So this is the way it declares. You see that data type and this. If you do this, actually it just it will create something like this. Okay, just one space in the RAM, but there is not 10 different steps. But when you say new integer 10, then it will create 10 different stuffs.
10 different libraries.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this address,
Access to all.
yeah, this will come here. Okay. And we are assigning different values in different places, and we are just printing them. Just how to assign values and how to access them. Okay, this is pretty simple. And I think lesson 5.
Okay.
You can declare it like this.
Okay.
Okay. Also, you can declare it like this. See the brackets here, here.
It's different to floats and integer.
No, it can also be. I think it can also be integer type. That's not a big deal. I'm just telling this can be there here or this can be there here. Both of them are right. Okay, but this is the encouraged way. Okay, this form is discouraged. Though both of them are allowed,
Yeah.
but it's encouraged that you follow this style. You put brackets with the data type, not with the variable.
Okay.
Okay. And here we just show different arrays of different data types. And you can also create an array like this. At this moment, what happens? The array creation and initialization both are done at the same time. Okay, this array variable is created and they are assigned with these values. But in our this example, you see, we just told, okay, this is a array type variable. Then we, using that new keyword, we allocated the space. Then we assign these variables. But we could do these things in a single statement, just like this. What you could say, integer,
Bracket,
yeah, then
an array, and
yeah,
list all your
all the
values.
values here, so it will automatically get created in the RAM.
Doesn't matter which style is better. The one line or
Yeah, it actually depends on the situation. Okay, if it is required that you need to initialize some values in the beginning, some fixed values, okay, in that way it's better. Okay, it will depend on the type of application or problem you are trying to solve. In many situations it will be definitely better. Okay, but for many you have to go through this way. Okay, it happens that you are collecting some data from somewhere else and you are creating a new array based on the data. Right, from the database you are collecting some data and you are creating an array. Then you are getting the values one by one. You don't know all the values before, so you have to use this kind of strategies. But in your program you want to somehow you want to mention that grades. You want to maintain an array with all the grades, grade symbols. Then you can follow this style, because you know that there will be nothing other than A plus, B plus, nothing, and you know already. Okay, so in that case you may want to use this kind of steps. Okay, so you have to think the situation. I think the lesson 2 concept we know.
Yeah.
And there can be different types instance variables. I think we also showed somewhere the instance variables. This is the instance variables. Okay, this is the static variable. I think there are two different types: instance variables and non-static. This is the class member. Okay.
It's declared under class.
Under class. Class member variable, non-static, or we call it instance. Instance actually means, I think, class. A similar concept is object, and object equals to instance of class. Actually, if we can see class, it does not exist in the RAM when you execute a program. Okay, class does not exist in the RAM, or it does not have any practical existence. It is just a structure. Okay, it's just a structure, but object, it's the something that exists in the RAM. That's why we call it object and instance of class. And that's why class variables are called instance variables. I think we'll be coming more on the class concept and object concept. We'll come on this more later. Okay. Static. We showed this static here. Just a static.
Okay.
And we also showed that from a static method you can also use a static variable or a static method. And what is the real value of static, that we did not yet tell. I think that relates to the class concepts, object oriented concepts. I think we will demonstrate later. Local variables, I think variables declared under a function parameters, function parameter that we know, and variable naming, I think it's case sensitive.
Yeah.
These are two different variables, x and x, and it supports both alphabet and numbers in the variable name, but you must have to start with a letter. You can start a variable name with 1 or 2. You can use x1, x2, x3, but not 1x, 1y, okay,
Yeah.
2x, no.
Okay.
The first one has to be a letter. What is the convention? The convention is you have to use descriptive words to define the variable, and you start with a small letter, then you can capitalize each of the subsequent words. For example, here, name and cards, 2 different words, so you have capitalized C. Yeah. And for the different data types, you can see this lesson here. There is a water. Okay, what I can say. I need to go for water.
Water?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a water fountain just down there. In the bathrooms? Yeah.
Okay, I'm just coming. Give it some time.
And then afterwards, like, okay,
swap it at 7. 7.
Stop.
Yeah, gotta do some homework.
Okay, that works.
Is it connecting?
Now it should work.
Do these. Just
Okay, I think when I record, for character there is MC standard and there is Unicode standard. Unicode. Java uses by default the Unicode standard. In that case, they can represent 65,000 characters. Okay, but ANSI is on 8-bit. It can represent maximum 256 characters. I think the previous C, those are ANSI. I think recently they are changing in Unicode. And also you need to be familiar with the default values. Things are simple, but it's important because I think when you write serious application, if you don't take care of these simple things, things can get very messy. Okay, maybe if you don't assign your variables appropriately, what can happen? It can get some arbitrary value, some randomly assigned value, and all of your program can get affected and get, I think, error result. Okay, so it's important that you bring it into a habit that you always initialize variables. Okay, but another thing is for the class variables, there are some default values. Still, if you don't initialize, they will automatically get these values. Okay, this applies only to class variables like this, but for this they don't apply. For local variables, before using, you have to initialize them. Okay. Okay. So these are the values. And for the class variables, if you declare a byte type variable, it will automatically get 0. If you declare a short, it will automatically get 0. For character, it will automatically get this. So this is the thing. And literals, it means this part, the value of the variable, that is called literals. Okay, this is the array again. Okay, and you can go here. Okay. Another thing, accessing an uninitialized local variable, that is a compile time error. Okay. And another thing is the variables we just talked about. And these are called primitive type. Primitive, just primary or primary type or basic type. There is another type in Java. It is called object type. Okay, I can show this integer. This is the primitive type. Corresponding type is integer. Okay, so this is just the single place, single value, but this is a class that represents integer. What is the advantage of this? I think integer related operations that can be part of this class. Okay, so there are methods like integer dot set. This method is used to convert a string into integer. Okay, this 10 is string because I put double quote, so it will convert it to just 10. Okay, so I think the advantage of creating this type of object-based data type, right? If you did not have this type of stuffs, you had to have some functions that can convert integer to string or string to integer. So it's better that you create the class and you associate the methods with the class. I think there are integer, double, float. You have to get familiar with them. I think for float, they also have similar thing, parse float.
What is the parse do?
Okay, it is the similar. Okay, this is a string. This parse float will convert it to floating point number. For the double dot parse double, just similar. Okay, maybe we'll come to this later a bit more. And another thing is that where this can be useful. If you create a form in your application, just you are collecting student data, student ID, student name. When user types something here, and if you collect this value from here, then this comes as a string. Maybe for some fields, marks, you put 100. Still it will go as a string. You need to convert them to integer for further operation. Okay. If you want to sample the quizzes mark, assignments mark, then you have to collect them as a string, then you have to convert them to integer, then you have to add them. So this kind of functions are useful. Okay. But if they did not implement it like this, they have to have some other functions as part of some other class. So they did it as part of this. So we came on to 5, so we covered this. It is just based on array. If you want to copy one array to another, just you can use this function, array copy, system.array copy. And one another thing, if you put your mouse cursor here, you can see the method, what it is, object source. So we are copy from this array, integer source position. It means from which position the copying will be done. It's from 2. So 0, 1, 2, it starts with 0, 0, 1, 2. So it will copy from C, and then it's the destination. The destination is the copy to object, copy to array. So this is the another array. So it will be copied to here. Integer destination position. I think that the destination position, it can have 100 spaces, but from where it will go, from which position it will start to go. If you would be telling 2, that if this is the second, 0, 1, 2, if you would be telling destination position at 2, then the copying should start from here. There can have other characters here, other information here, the copying will start here. But as you have put 0 in the copy 2, there will be nothing before the copy result. And how many characters to copy? 7. So from 2, 0, 1, 2, it will copy 7 characters. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So caffeine.
Copy to 7?
Yeah. Until this 7 character, it will copy from here to there. So this copy from here to there. So if you execute it, okay, the output is caffeine. We are outputting the copy to. Another thing you can notice that I think there's something to do with mostly with class concepts. Actually, we're creating a string class, and I think string class has some constructor. Are you familiar with constructor? No, okay, I think let's skip it. Okay, just I wanted to show the array copy many times. It may be useful. Okay, in lesson 5, okay, we told about array, that is show. See, an array list, it is also an array, but it has a great advantage. For array, you have to mention the size. Okay, the size is kind of fixed, but for array list or vector, the size will not be fixed. You can add data. If you keep adding data, it will automatically grow. That's the advantage of array list. Okay, and another advantage is in array, you have to mention the data type. Okay, but in array list, you don't have to specify the data list in the beginning. Okay, and in array list, you can also keep objects. But in array, you can also keep objects, but I think array list, what I can say, it's better. Usually people use array list for objects and practical applications. Okay, for simple operations or for simple purpose you can use it, but if it's a big list of data dynamically changing, then you have to use array list. Array list and vector, those are similar. And these things, these are also similar storage, but they implement the stuffs in a different way. Set, it is the mathematical set concept. Map, it just storage, but it keeps data in key value pair. Let key is X, all the value will be here. Key is Y, all the value will be here. Like in usual array, you are using the index. 0, 1, 2, 3 is the index. But in map, it's not the index, it's the key. You have to manipulate the data based on the key. It can be useful that if you want to store information based on student, and if you want to keep student information, you can create a data structure where the key will be student ID. All the information to that particular student will be here as the value. Okay, so this is more related to the student ID, not to the index. Okay, I think we'll cover in details this thing because this is very important. I think in your courses you will find this a lot. Okay, in the 101 or whatever you say, maybe there is one class, one course on Java, data structure in Java. I think that will work on this in details. Okay, we'll also talk about this details. Okay, maybe we can go to see lesson 6. Okay, we saw what it is. Okay, it is just operator. Think how different operators are there. Okay, initially this is pretty basic, plus, minus, multiplication, division, and maybe, are you familiar with this? Percentage?
Yeah.
It just means the remainder.
Okay.
Okay, so result, remainder 7, at this moment they are telling result is 10. Okay, 10 divided by 7, so the remainder will be 3. Okay, so it is a remainder operator that you need to know. If you just, I can uncomment this block. I can run it. I think it is showing different results at this moment. I think it is pretty simple, I don't need to show it. I can later proceed to the next steps. concat, one method I have defined. So I think basically I have already showed it, just concatenating to a string. Okay. This function is this one, first string, second string. So I'm just doing plus. If any of them is a string, then plus works, just adding them into one string. So if we run it, so this is a concatenated string. So this is one variable, this is another variable, so you're just adding them.
The result.
Yeah.
Where's the one there for?
Okay, what is this third string is there? Okay, let me see the main. Okay, this is the main. I'm blocking from here to there. Okay, concat second string. There is no logic that it will be coming here. Okay, I think this is another function. To block it. So now this is okay. And this unary operator. This is plus 1. Minus minus, plus plus, minus.
What's the unary operator?
Yeah, unary. Just unary operator, what does it mean? Just it operates on a single variable. Plus x1 plus x2. This is binary because it operates on two variables. But if you say x plus plus, it is operating on one variable, so it's an unary operator. Okay. Minus minus, it just decrements, so result is now 0. And here result plus plus, it increments, so it will be 1. And this one, it is just yeah, negative result, just making it negative. They're just printing success and not success. Initially it will be false, then it will be true. Okay, maybe one thing you need to understand regarding plus plus and minus minus, I think it can get confused. Okay. That if I want to print something, let plus plus x. If x equals to 10 here, I want to print plus plus x. What will be the output? It will be 11. Okay.
What are you adding? 10.
Yeah, 10. And I'm trying to print system.out.print. Somewhere I have used. Okay. So this is a string and plus it concatenating. I'm trying to print plus plus x, so it will be printing 11. But if I be saying x plus plus, then it would be printing 10, because it means that use the value of x, then increment. If you put plus plus after, it means that at this point it will use the current value of x. After the current value of x is used, then it will apply this operator to it. So if you put x plus plus, it will still print 10 because the current value is 10. After printing 10, it will increase its value by 11. But what does it mean? It means first increase, then work. So it will make it 11 first, and then it will do the printing stuff. So it will be 11. Sorry. Okay, just you can test. I can give you the stuffs. You can test at home.
Yeah.
Pre-post demo. Okay, I think this is what I have discussed now. Okay. At this moment, it is increased to 4 because when we are here, the plus is done, so it will be 4. But here it is going to be 5 because plus, yeah. So it will be 5. Plus, it will be 6. I think this line is important. You see I plus, but still they are telling they will print 6 because the increment will be later. Okay. The first for this line, the previous value of I, that is 6, that will work, and after that it will increase the value by 1. So it will be 7 when it comes to this line. After this line, so when I print from here, it will go to 7. Okay. So just you have to be a little careful. So here. Comparison demo. I think I can go this later as the foundational demo. Okay, maybe we can go through this lesson and then we can stop today. I think what we can say, this is some, in your program you may have to use many conditional stuffs. Based on some condition you can do something. If you want to write a simple program, you can ask for a number. Okay, and based on the number you can display the grade. Okay, so based on this number you have to decide. I think it's in plain English. If you want to say, if number is between this person to this person A, this person to this person B. So this is similar, something like this. Okay. Yeah, I think in Visual Basic it also has if then, yeah, if, it has to mark if, yeah, case. Similar stuffs also here. I think if this, grade this, else if. In Visual Basic I think they are attached, else if, the same word. Yeah, and I think begin and end they use for the block. They are using the brackets. So this is the way it works. And then we are printing it. So the test history is 76. So greater than or equals to 76. So it should come here. Okay, and grade C. And there is a similar like case. The syntax is like you have to give switch, then the variable name here, and it has to be a constant type. Okay, it cannot be string, it should be some numeric type. Okay, numeric type, and there is one thing, enum. It is a user defined constant. You can define your own data type, own constant data type using enum. You can also enum type variable here. Okay, but string you can't. It has to be mostly numeric type. Floating point number, so far I know you can't use a floating point number. I think in Visual Basic what we have told, case, okay, I think what it is telling, you have to check the month variable value, and if it is 1 then it will do, if it is 2 then it will do this. This is the one. You have to see that month is 8, so it will print August. Okay. Another thing, are you familiar? Break, you know what does break mean?
Line break.
Okay, in this case, this break will mean that break from the total block. Break. What is the block at this moment? This is the block. This bracket indicates the total group. Okay, there is no other grouping at this moment. So this break will, so whenever it matches 8, it will print it and then it will break. If you don't give break, then what will happen? There is no break, so it will go to the next statement. Okay, until it gets a break, it will keep going. I think it calls fall through the term. The term is fall through. It means when there is no break, it will just continue until there is a
Skipped all the way to
September, October, August, September, October. Okay, so here it found break, so it will continue further. So this is what you need to know. Okay, switch demo to. Okay, here we are telling that if any of the number matches, then the result will be this. Okay, so we don't need to keep everything here. Case 1 to 12. It is a number of days in a month. We are telling if the month is January, March. In that case, the days are 31. For April, and those 30. For February, we are just using the remainder. If it is divisible by 4, then it will be 29. Otherwise, it will be 28. And by default, if the number is anything else, right? We are using case 4, case 6, but we are just using default. It means any other value other than these numbers. Okay. So if we run it, because we are giving month 2.
February.
Yeah, February. Year is 2000. If we give it,
Divisible by 4, make it 28.
yeah, divisible then 29. Leap year. Right. If we give 2009, it should be 28. Okay. So it matches 2 and this. But if we put 7, then the result should be 31 because it is here. The 7 is here. So 31. I think this is also in the Visual Basic. There is while loop. Just it is what you can say, a set of operation execute as long as a condition is true. Okay. If and switch, what we are doing, if there is a condition, you are doing something, but you are doing only once. Okay. But for while loop or do while loop, you will be doing some operation as long as the conditions are true. Okay. So if you write something while true, it will run infinite time because it's always true. Okay. So for while demo and do while demo, okay, for while demo the syntax is like this. While you have to keep the condition here, you have to run all the statements here, and the bracket is like this. So you are telling that while count is smaller than 11, it will print the value of count. Okay. And it will increment count by 1. So if we are debugging step by step, I think at this line count value will be increased by 1. So it will go from 1, 2, 3, 4. And at this moment when it will see that it's 11, okay, so it will print, but when it will go to 12, there will be nothing. It will print until 11. And for do while, then it will be doing this, that the condition will be checked at the end of this block. Okay. What is the difference? Just the difference is that if the condition is not true, this may never get executed. Okay. If you put 12 here, so it will never get executed. Okay. But for do while, it will get executed at least once. Okay. Because doing and then it is checking here. If you put 12 here, first time it will print 12, then it will not print anything because it will not go here. We can but it will not print other stuffs. But for this one, while it will not print anything. And with for, you can specifically say how many times you want to do the work. Okay. So I think it's similar in Visual Basic also. The syntax is like this: initialization. I think for int is I equals to 1. So we're just telling this will loop based on the value of I or counter until it's smaller than 11, smaller than 11. Termination point. It is increment here. So I'm just telling I will start at 1, and this will work until the value of I is 11. At each end, I think this is actually equivalent to this statement. Yeah. This actually executes at this point. Okay. After I think at the end of the for loop, I think start for loop, end for loop, just before the ending bracket, this condition executes. Okay, the I++ executes. So at each iteration, it gives more values. And the thing is, you don't need to give it exactly here. You can keep it here, and you can just put the semicolon here. Okay, it should also work. But I didn't test recently. I hope it will work. Okay, so you can do it like this. And for conditions, I believe condition, still that should be okay. Okay, so this is the behavior actually, and this is another demo for just a little bit different style. Right, here we are defining numbers, all the numbers are here. Then we are telling for item in numbers, for each item in numbers, it will do this one. Okay, I think this format is many times useful. Maybe when you write programs, you may have a big storage of different object here, so you can use this kind of stuffs. For object O and variable object, we are not telling specifically how many times, but what we are telling is for each item in numbers array or number storage, it has to do this. So it will run exactly 10 times and it will display 10. It is just at this moment in the simple case it is just the integer, but in object oriented program it can be, all of them can be independent object. Then you can do operation on the individual objects here. Break demo. I think we already showed one simple example for the switch. Here, break means it will break from the current block. It also applies with the while or do. Okay. Break demo that I have used break in for loop. That means when it reaches the break statement, it will get out of the for loop. Okay.
So break to the point that you said.
Yeah.
So go back to the block
Yeah.
where you didn't break it, and then I'll follow the next code.
Yeah. So at this moment it is searching. We'll be searching for 12. So it will find 12 at here. We're keeping track of the index with I, from I and array of integers total length. We are searching the total array. Okay. If we find it, we are telling it break. Okay. Then it is breaking out of for loop, so it will be coming here. If it found it is true, then we are displaying the index, otherwise we are displaying the just an error message. So this is the break, and there is one thing, break demo with level. Okay. It is not only break, it will also point from which block it will get out. Okay. If I would not be using this break, that it could be breaking out of this for, this inner for. The outer for will be again executing. But I have told break search. Search is the total block. That means it will get out of this total block. Okay. So for break, one thing is if you keep it directly break, it does not apply to if, it does apply to for and do, while, those kind of stuffs. So by default it will break out of the innermost block. So for this break we see this here. For here would not be giving it, then this is the innermost, so it will be coming here, but it could be still continuing. But as you placed search, so the search indicates the total block. So when it reaches here, it will just come here and go to here. Now what is the continue? Continue, it does not break out of the loop or block, but it works with the next iteration. Right? There is a for loop. If currently it is working with for I, and if we tell it somewhere continue, that there are many statements before this continue. Okay. When it comes to continue, it will see that the value of I is 4. It will not go later. It will execute the next step, and that will be 5. If we are telling break, then it will be directly going there. But if we say continue, it will start from here. It will not execute these steps. It will directly go there, and also it will increment the counter value by 1. The next iteration. For while, it will also go to the next iteration. Okay, continue. And we are trying to find out all the P in this sentence. Just simply, whenever it is getting a P, it is not that it is there to keep track of number of P. How many P are here? Okay. So whenever it's not P, we are starting over. But whenever it is P, we are increasing the variable, so that we know that how many P's are there. Okay, so continue. Continue also has a similar nature like break. You can also give a label with it. Okay, we are telling continue test. So this total, I think if we would put it doing only continue here, then it would be coming here. I think it will be trying to execute this block again. Okay, but as you are telling test, so it will go there. Okay. Actually what happens is they are trying to match, and this is a long string and this is a short string. What they are trying to match, this string into here. Okay, so let it say 3-character string A, B, C. The innermost block. Okay, what is going on? The outer block is going this one by one. Okay, one by one it is going. But if it finds the matching for A, then it comes to the inner block and it tries to match 3-character. Okay, but if it fails at B, then there is no point of going further, because never this will match. So what it is trying to do, it will skip the inner block and it will start over again. Okay, so this block, it is just matching ABC, but if it fails at B or second string, then it breaks out of overall and starts from the next here. Okay, if we would not be doing this, then maybe it would be trying to match with C. But as we are giving test, so what we will say that maybe it will matching from there, it will just move this pointer, not this pointer. Okay, I think what you can do, you can run this, and for each of the functions you can try to run the debugging and go step by step. Then you will know that how the controls are going, and change the functions a bit or the statements a little bit, and then you can see how things go. I think there are some similar stuffs here. Conditional demo 2 and conditional demo. I think they are using that if statement here. The if value is this. Okay, I think I wanted to demonstrate the conditional statements. Conditional operator, not the statement. Conditional operator. You see, this is a conditional operator. Are you familiar with and or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And means both of them has to be true.
True or false.
Yeah. Or means only one of them can be true, then it's true. Not it's just the negation. And XOR means XOR. It's XOR. It will be true when both unequal. Right. 0, 1, 1, 0. This will be 1, this will be 1. Because this is 0, this is 0. Okay. This is for XOR. But for we are using AND here. That means if both of them are true, then this will work. Or any of them true, this will work. But if we are using XOR, then if both are different, okay, either this 1, this 0, or this 0, this 1, then it will be printed.